everybody, I'm Kristen and welcome back to my channel. I'm an astrologer from Toledo, Ohio, and I'm here to talk to you today about what I discussed a little bit on Friday. I made about a 5-minute video talking about the new shift, the shift that's been going on. The shift has been going on for a very long time, but it's really ramping up, as you guys can tell. And something that I discovered the other day, well, I guess it was January actually, I found something that I really think is very important, and there might be some other astrologers out there who have found this as well. I haven't seen a video on this, so I'm really excited to share this with you because it really ties into obviously our world and what's going on, and we have a lot of people that are very frightened and scared and trying to understand why all of this is happening and when will it stop, things like that. And not that I necessarily want to talk about all of the details of that, but we've just been put through the mill, right? Even if we're not the people that it's happening to, it still is, because when it hurts someone, it hurts all of us. When one person's affected, we're all affected. I have my screen up and it just went dark, so 1 second. Okay, so I feel like this is incredibly hopeful for all of us because I have heard about this huge shift, and of course I also realized that there's a huge shift because we actually started this. You can look at a couple different ways. There's been a couple different shifts. Of course, there's like cycles within cycles within cycles all of the time. Now, remember the Mayans when they said we thought they said the Earth was ending. Well, the calendar ended for them. That was December 21st, 2012. That was when we were approaching our galaxy, our planet, our galaxy, along with it, was approaching the center of the Milky Way, which is considered the womb of the Milky Way, and the galactic center is there. And allegedly, we are a planet that is far, far, far away from the other planets because we have such dark energy on our planet. Of course, we have good energy too, but we have dark energy as well. And I don't really 100% know my audience, like my people that follow me. So don't forget also to like and subscribe and leave a comment. Let me know how much astrology you know. Like, are you new to this? What would you like to learn about? That would be really helpful. And subscribing is free. So just to put that little plug in there, but I don't exactly know what you know about all of this stuff, but I have been down these, I should call it a rabbit hole, but I have been learning all about this shift that the Earth is going through since 2017. And so I'm not sure if you're familiar with the Schumann resonance and the Earth's heartbeat, and that used to be stable and now it's increasing. And all of the, I guess you could call them spiritual people, have been saying that we're all leveling up. We're all becoming more conscious, more aware, understanding, seeing past the veil. The veil is lifting for all of us, okay? And maybe some of you are like, what are you talking about, right? Here's an example in 2017 when I started learning about astrology. I might have told this, I'm sure I've told this story a little bit. I was learning about all the different things on podcasts, and then all of a sudden I was like, what else do I want to learn about? And I was like, oh, I love astrology. I've loved it my whole life. Well, since I can ever remember learning about it, and I won't bore you with that story, but that's when I started learning about it. And I would hear the podcasters talk about, hey, if you're listening to this right now, you're way ahead of time. This is going to be huge. Everybody's going to want to know about astrology. It's going to have a renaissance, because of course it was huge in the 1970s, and it's also had huge times in years past, and then they suppressed the information. They said, no, it's dark, or, it's bad, and the church doesn't want you to do it. So you kind of feel like a bad person if you're learning astrology, or you're looking at, I always even did a little bit like, I'm a bad person. I'm, it's dark energy or something. It's whatever, it's not. Of course, people can use anything and manipulate it, whether it's a salesman selling something, right? That's a regular thing, or astrologers or psychics. So you do have to be careful because you're listening to someone who's telling you something that you might take as, like it's legit Bible stuff, you know. And the thing is that we all have free will. Okay, I'm going on a little tangent, but I'll get back to the thing. We all have free will. We all have energies we're born with. We use the energies to the best of our abilities. That's the goal, and we can have a better life than, you know, using the energies for not good reasons, right? And obviously a lot of us know right from wrong, so it's not so much like, oh, don't break the law and don't lie, which is always a good thing, but also what are some great times for me to be doing these, maybe starting a business or getting married, or just knowing, oh, I don't feel so great right now. Oh, well, I could share with you, for example, oh, you're having this transit and that's going to end at this time. And it gives you so much hope and insight into your personality and to your struggles and things that you came here to learn and to grow. So going back to the thing about the Schumann resonance and learning all about the earth, and the earth is evolving, and for the earth to evolve, the humans have to evolve more. And then it even ties in with AI, because if you've learned a little bit about this, people are, the spiritual people will say that the, you know, God, angels, the people that watch over us want to make sure that we are more enlightened because of AI. It's tied into a consciousness that we are basically bringing to life a new thing that perhaps will be conscious, you know, if you think of like things having sentience. I think I used that word right. Okay. So we have to evolve, this moment has been working. We've been working towards it since, I keep saying, so sorry. I'm sorry. Okay. I will try to do my best. I'm trying to make this like a regular conversation. I don't want to talk too much and take too long to spit all of this out, but I also am just like, you know, just relax. Listen to this, pause me, go get a coffee or something, or put your makeup on, or get ready, or drive in the car or something, because I really feel like this is going to make people feel better. I think that's what all astrology is all about, because we're all here on the planet anyway. Let's learn about our energies that are helping us, that can help us, that are changing in the world. You know, the macro and the micro, what's going on in your life, what's going on out in the world. So our earth has been shifting. Our actual planet earth has been shifting and becoming, you know, more conscious, more evolved. They're saying we're going from a 3D to a 5D. And I've been hearing all about this, the new earth. And part of me is like, what is that even? I don't even know what they're talking about. And I started to, this is pretty cool actually. I learned this the other day, and this makes a lot of sense to me, that it's going to be, and my son had said this a long time ago, probably 3 or 4 years ago, maybe 3, maybe 4. He said that we're going to have telepathy again, you know, and it's like I said again, I don't know if he said again, but we are going to be telepathic, where we won't have to learn how anyone's language, right? It'll be like when you think of people when they have their near-death experiences and they hear from their angels, or in your dreams. I have this all the time. I'm not like talking to someone and someone's not talking to me, but I know what they're saying. And it's actually a way for me to understand that it's kind of a message from someone to me, from maybe someone who's passed on to me. But going back to the telepathic thing, you know, the Tower of Babel. And stick with me. I've got a whole list of each sign and different things that you can possibly expect in your life, and energies that are happening and whatever, depending on the part of your chart. So the Tower of Babel, remember when God said in the Bible that he is going to make it so that, because he was upset, and without going into the whole story, and I don't even know the whole story perfectly, but I just know they were building a tower to reach God, and you didn't have to do that. So he didn't want us to communicate with each other, so he dispersed us and gave us different languages. Well, one of the spiritual people I follow said, and then I've heard it since, that that original thing was telepathy. We used to have telepathy on Earth. We wouldn't have to speak. So then it made it harder. Okay, now you got to learn a language. You have to have written language, all of this kind of stuff. So imagine how much faster things are when you just know. And you won't, and this is what Xavier had said also, people won't be, you have to level up because people will know if you're bad right away, if you had bad intentions, or you will know if someone else has bad intentions because if you know. So anyway, so we are going through, the Earth is traveling along with our solar system past the galactic center, and this really started on December 21st, 2012. We built up to 2020 when we had that big conjunction, and that was with Saturn and Pluto. And back in 2017, the astrologers were telling us we're going to have a huge thing happen on Earth. It's going to affect everybody on Earth. And I'm not kidding. You can go back on YouTube and just look up 2017 videos or podcasts, and you will see that they literally said this. And they were like, it's going to change the big five. And I'm sure I told you this before. It was like banking, education, the universities or schools. It's going to change. Sorry, my little light went off. Okay, one second. It's going to change industry, like corporations and like businesses. I'm forgetting all the five, but whatever. You're thinking, oh, war, this or that. Well, of the pandemic, okay? So then that helped all of us, whether we like it or not, whether, we agree with what they did or all that kind of stuff. But it's like, yeah, you don't have to leave your family all day long to do your job. Yeah, you can have your kid with you. They walk in on a meeting like that one guy, blah, blah, blah. So I'm sure I'm repeating myself with all this. I don't want to do that. But we are now, these outer planets are moving into new signs, okay, which takes a very long time. And not only are they moving into new signs, so Pluto takes about, depends on what sign it's in, because it doesn't have a perfect orbit, so it stays in some signs longer. But it's let's say like so we started off with Pluto in Capricorn around 2009, 2010, and then it left for the first time in March of 2023, which is what I mentioned when it entered into Aquarius, and then it kind of went back and forth, and then it fully went into Aquarius in November of 2024, November 19th. Okay, so it is not going to go back into Capricorn, okay, because we won't live long enough for that. Okay, so that was last year. Now this year we're having Uranus. Uranus stays in a sign for 8 years. Uranus will be going into Gemini, okay? Huge. Think about that. If you know anything about astrology, Uranus is the electricity. It's the sign of astrology. It's the sign of the maverick and the revolution and technology. And in Gemini is the brain. Sorry, my light went off. Let's see if this is better. Okay. Okay. So much to say about that. I will do a video on Uranus in Gemini, and that will be happening soon. It's May 24th, I believe. Let me just double check. Okay, so stick with me. Okay, hold on. Uranus into Gemini. Oh, sorry, no. July 7th of this year, we'll go into Gemini for the first time. Okay, May 24th is Saturn. Saturn's going into Aries. And what's crazy about that is Aries is the beginning of the zodiac, and it's not like arbitrary, right? There's symbolism with Aries being the first sign, but there's also like rational, specific, scientific reasons for this. And this is all the stuff that we've lost. We used to know. When I say we, like everyday regular people back in the day, maybe you would have a person that would mostly know it, and then they would share it with people, right? Your shamans and witches, whatever you want to call those people, healers and stuff like that. But they would know this. The monks, people like that, they know all of the planetary stuff and what's going on. And here we go. So I built this. This is supposed to be a circle. Same with this one. Now we have this is the zero Aries thing that I'm about to tell you. So just to recap, we're having Uranus going into Gemini, okay? But mostly what I want to talk about is Saturn going into Aries and Neptune going into Aries. And that's the beginning of the zodiac. So if you were to go on astroseek.com and you were to look up planetary, I think they call it cycles, okay? You click on it, it will give you like Mars planetary cycle. That means when was the last time was it at zero Aries? And when will it then again wrap up to zero Aries again? That takes 2 years for Mars, okay? It's a lot shorter with Mercury, and that's within a year. It's way shorter than that. And then Venus, you know, is less than a year again. And then you have, of course, the sun hits Aries every year. So we always know that's going to happen. We always know Mercury is going to hit Aries every year. We always know Venus is going to hit Aries every year. And then you jump to Mars. Mars will be every 2 years, okay? Then we have what I was saying, the planetary cycles, going back to Saturn, that only happens every 29 years. So when you click on that, that's going to be the beginning. It's going to say Aries 0, and that date will be, in AstroSeek, if you look it up, it will be May 24th, 2025, okay? So we are 26-ish days away from that, okay? Because today is April 28th, okay? And then you have Neptune. Now, Neptune's orbit is even longer. It's not 29 years, it's 164 years, I believe. Hold on. I should memorize this. Okay. But Neptune is 164 years. 164 years. So the last time Neptune was in Aries was 1861, 1862. The last time Saturn was in Aries was 1996, okay? If you are old enough for 1996, okay, think about what you were doing in 1996, what was going on in your life, what new things were happening. This is huge because it's not entering just a new sign. It's Aries, 0 Aries. It's called the 0 point. It's one of the I'm forgetting the name of it, but it's one of the special degrees in the zodiac, the very first degree. It's huge, right? Okay, this is what I wanted to share with you. So I have 2 circles representing, one is the ecliptic and one is the celestial equator. So the celestial equator is going to be the one that's straight. It's, in a sense, not straight because the earth is tilted, but if the earth were right here in front of it, had a little thing, this would be the equator, and this is like, imagine this line is an imaginary line that goes out into space, okay? Then you have the ecliptic. The ecliptic runs like this. So it looks like this. Hold on one second. If you put them together, it looks like this, right? So the ecliptic is because the earth is tilted and the sun appears up high in the summer for the northern hemisphere, and what we would call summer. Winter's down here where the sun is way, way, way down here. So this part right here where it meets, right here and right here is, this is ridiculous looking, but you get what I'm saying. There's 0 Aries point, which is the equinox, equal, and the Libra equinox, okay? The autumnal, I'm saying it wrong, okay? Equinox, and it's equal. This is a portal, believe it or not. It is, and that is what new moons and full moons are considered, but especially the eclipses. They are considered that where energies can come in even stronger than other energies, if that makes sense. Manifesting things, beginning things. We're talking brand new beginnings. So wrapping back up to what we're dealing with politically and worldwide, this is really, it sounds terrible to say, but it's supposed to be happening. This is my view. Of course, maybe I don't know, but it's supposed to unravel somehow. And this is apparently the way it's going to unravel. And it's all has to go this way so that we can build it back to what we want, because you can't really improve things without dismantling. It's kind of like when a business shuts down and they're like, we're gonna, pull out the rugs and put in new carpeting, or, change the tile, and we're gonna change the menu or whatever the business is, and we're gonna change this all. We have to stop everything. We have to rip stuff out. It's a gigantic disaster. And maybe you have people in there that are doing things that you really are like, he effed this up, I hate this stupid tile, and or whatever, we're gonna make it work, or we're gonna start over with that now. It's gonna take even longer. I'm just giving one little random thing that just popped in my brain, for example, or just moving to a different house. That's what we're doing right now. And it's a process, and it doesn't feel good, and it's scary. And so I wanted to say that, and going again to the 0 Aries, which is basically what this is all about, are these two planets, Saturn and Neptune. What does that mean when they are entering? That means they're coming together. So now they will conjunct, oh, I should have written this down. It was like I think it's like every 30 some years that they make a conjunction. Okay. So yes, I believe the last time was, but I can get back to that. They do conjunct, not frequently, but it's not like every 300 years. It's very much more frequently, but not at zero Aries, not even one Aries. They're going to conjunct at zero Aries, okay? This is going to happen next year in February, but my point is where this whole process is happening right now, and I really believe we all come to this earth not just to fulfill our own wishes, which I believe we do, but to help other people with the gifts that we have. And so say your thing that you've been working on, whatever that is, you're going to be helping someone with that. Do you know what I mean? So you're making your way forward. I keep saying that to my kids. You're making your way. You are making your way forward. And this process, I don't want people to give up on what they started. This has meaning, what you have started. So we have the new moon today, okay? Or it was yesterday, but it's still in effect. The sun is in Taurus. The moon is in Taurus. And trust me, I'm not all over the place. I probably seem like I am, but I'm not. This is such an ideal time to be really thinking about this, because I could have made this video a month ago or a month from now, because it's all still happening. But today, and the new moon is really still happening because the cycle lasts for a whole 29, 30 days, right? So you want to wait till the moon. Today's a great day to start and manifest and think about, write down what you want. Think about what you've been working on since March of 2023. Think about how you want to improve your life, improve the lives of others with that gift that you have, because this is the beginning of all beginnings. We are, I just want to remind everybody, I believe this. I can't see the future. I'm not saying that, but I do know that whatever we believe and what we feel and what we think is power and is powerful. And the more that we all can think in a positive way and work on those things in our own life, the best that we can will help the whole planet to move forward, instead of believing what the naysayers are saying, like there's this new problem. It always seems like that. It's like we're in our own I forgot the word, what is it, reality show, like what's next up. And I just gave up on that a long time ago. I was so attached to everyday news and thinking, today's the day. They're going to figure it out and it's going to be great and it's going to be better and people are going to be happy, or whatever the case may be. But, I was waiting for the positive news. I was waiting for something to happen that made sense to me. And it doesn't. And I know maybe some things make sense to you today and maybe before they didn't. And for some people, they don't make sense today, but before they did. But it's all about coming together. And we actually live on a planet with the North Pole and the South Pole, the yin and the yang. It's the only way we can learn all about, happy and sad and scared and, free, peaceful, all of those things. It's really neat if you learn about, how that's all working to help us to grow as humans, as souls. Okay. So talking about the zero Aries. So now what I did was I thought about it. I'm like, wait a minute. We will normally in a whole year have 13 moons that pass over the zero Aries. So there's 13. Then we have the sun that goes over zero Aries. That's 14, right? So we're talking about times where planets or points are crossing the zero Aries point, the beginning. So we would normally have 13 moons, we would normally have the sun, and then we would normally have Venus, and then we would normally have Mercury, okay? We don't always have Mars. So if we just do the moons, that's 13, then we have the sun is 14, we have Mercury is 15, and Venus is 16, okay? Now I also noticed Some years will have 14 Aries moons, where where the moon passes over the 0 Aries. And that is about, I wrote it down, but there was one in 2011 and 2017 and 2020 and 2022 where we had 14 of them. So say 14, then you've got the sun 15, Venus 16, Mercury 17, okay? So 17 times you're gonna have something going over the 0 Aries. That's standard, right? Every year. Okay, this year we had Venus retrograde over 0 Aries. Now people say, well, she retrogrades over Aries all the time because it's in her cycle every 8 years or whatever it is. Not over 0. I double checked, okay? It does happen, but not every time she's in Aries and retrogrades. It's not always over the 0 degree mark. Also Mercury went over the 0 Aries this time. So we had 3 times for Venus this year, 3 times for Mercury this year. That's 6. Plus, we are going to have 14. The moon is going to go over the 0 Aries 14 times. So that is 6 plus the 14, 20, right? Then we are going to have, we had the North Node. The North Node was in Aries for about 19 months. It went past the 0 Aries mark. And that was on January 11th, I believe. I have to double check. So that, the North Node passed over that, which is our destiny. Then, it's amazing to me. And then we had, hold on. Okay. Then we will have, and I want to skip one. Okay, Mars is not right now. Mars will be next year. And then, hold on one second. Okay, we had the sun, of course, and then March 30th we had Neptune, and that cycle is 164 years. That has not happened in any of our lifetimes. Neptune went over the 0 Aries mark, which you probably know if you're a astrologer person or astrology person, you want to watch all these videos, you probably heard all about that. March 30th was when Neptune went over the 0 Aries. Okay, then next up, so since January 5th, we had the moon go past 0 Aries. January 11th, we had the North Node. February 1st, we had the moon. February 4th, we had Venus. Then March 1st, we had the moon. Then March 3rd, we had Mercury. Think March was crazy. Think, what were you doing in March? You probably didn't have time to breathe. Although it felt like you probably weren't moving anywhere because a lot of things were retrograde or at least in their shadow. Okay. March 3rd was Mercury going past 0. Then we had March 20th. That was the spring equinox. That's when the sun goes over 0 Aries. Then we had March 27th. Venus went over it again. That's in her retrograde. March 28th was the moon. March 29th was Mercury. And then March 30th was Neptune. April 16th was Mercury again. And then April 25th was the moon. April 30th, which is in 2 days, Venus will be going over the 0 degree Aries spot again. May 22nd, the moon will be going over, and May 24th, Saturn. By May 24th, we will have, I think I added it up and it's on my screen, we will have, is it 14 or 16 times, we will have as many planets and the North Node going past 0 Aries as we would in an entire year. So this is the beginning for you of something, and manifest, plan, think about it, be positive, think positively. I always believe, like, when you have these energies, you have to be on your best behavior, right? Okay, because you can't be, and I know I think I've said this in other videos, my thought process is, and I'm not saying I have the best behavior, I'm just saying my thought process is I want to do the right thing because, here's my thought process. Why would the universe give you things so easily, right? If you're not being a nice person, or if you're not having good thoughts, right? This is the time now to write your way of thinking, to not be unkind to people. Like, so what? They're not doing what you think is cool. Who cares? It's their own life. They're on their own. This is just one example. They're on their own journey, right? they haven't learned that yet, and some people aren't going to. I'm not saying I'm going to learn everything, but I'm saying they're going to get all the way to the end of their life, and that's that. They're going to have to start over and learn those things. So let them be. Just like think about something that you didn't know until later, okay? And I feel so embarrassed when I look back at my Facebook posts. Some of my Facebook posts were crazy. And I'm like, boy, I really thought I was right or funny or accurate or like whatever it was at the time. And I look back and think, that's insane. I was crazy, you know? It's like, and it really feels that way. I'm like, am I being hard on myself? Am I not understanding? Like, that was really me back then. That's how I really felt. And I don't anymore. So you remember, give everyone grace. They're not them fully yet. We're always evolving and growing, you know, as we keep going every single day, every single year. So it's just like, whatever, let it be. Just worry about you. But anyway, it helps you too. If it helps you to know that by worrying about you only and even giving yourself grace, it helps you to manifest these things. Does that make sense? I don't know. I hope that does. But anyway, it gives me a little bit teary because it's like exciting and it makes me really happy. And I just think that this is what works. And I'm really, really hopeful about all of this because like I said, by May 24th, we will have the same amount of swipes over the 0 Aries, which I was saying is the equinox, is where the celestial equator and the ecliptic meet. It's the beginning of the zodiac. Aries is considered the baby. We hear the warrior a lot because Aries gets mad, but they go right back and they're fine. You know, forget it. It's water under the bridge. You know, they don't hold on to grudges. Let your grudges go. You know, start over. Take a breath and take care of yourself. Okay, so let me go back to my sheet to see if I'm forgetting anything because I want to read to you guys what's going on. What I think, you know, you can listen to other astrologers. I'm not saying I'm going to say something that's going to be like, oh my gosh, that's exactly right. I lost my page, so hold on one second. I don't know where it went. Well, it went away. So hold on. I have my laptop here. Hold on. I have to go back to my Gmail. Wait. Because I typed this all up. This is not a shorty, okay? Gmail. That's a longie. Hold on. I gotta open it up now. Okay, guys. I don't know where it went. It went away. Okay. Shift, new beginnings. That's what I was like, wow, this is really, 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 really exciting. Just the fact that Saturn or Neptune going into another sign is a big thing. But going into 0 Aries, they're both starting new things. And then we want to talk about what is Saturn, what is Neptune, what does it symbolize? Because that's what astrology is about. It's about the energies, the symbolism of the energies. And I thought of a nice, easy way to say it earlier, and I had 3 things. Energies, the symbolism of them, and I forgot the 3rd thing that I was going to say. Okay, timing. Okay, all right, so shifts, new beginnings, normal years. Okay, normal years we would have 16 or 17 with Mars. Okay, by May 24th, we will have 15 planets and the North Node, 16 have gone over the 0 Aries. I've said that. Okay, back up. We're going to back up to March 23rd, 2023, when Pluto entered Aqua for the first time. Oh, this is the other thing. Okay, so I looked at it. March 23rd, if you know astrology or timing with the zodiac, okay, that's Aries season, right? Okay, guess what? There were 2 new moons in Aries. So the only way you can have that's a blue moon, right, is when you have a new moon at 0 of a sign, which we did on March 21st of 2023. We had a new moon at 0 Aries, okay? Which means it allowed it to go all the way through all the signs and get all the way back to Aries still, and have another one at 29 degrees Aries within the 30 days. How cool is that? Can't happen if it was at 1 degree Aries, because then it would just be at 0 degree Taurus. Does that make sense? You know what I mean? You get like the 30-day window here. So we had a bookend experience when Pluto entered in. It really was like, here you go. This is the new beginning. Pluto is in Aqua. Time for, and that's another video that I need to do, and I have done a little bit, but Pluto in Aqua is power to the people, is technology, AI, fairness, humanitarianism. That is what it's on, like I said, another video, but it is really ushering it in, having those 2 new moons, because those are the timing, the very minute timing is the moon. Okay, so I thought that was amazing back then. So think back then what you started, what was beginning in your life, what shift was happening that you were like, I've got to do this, because when Pluto comes through, change is happening. It's just a matter of what it is for each individual person, okay? When you go see an astrologer, that is a huge thing. Where is Pluto in your chart right now? Is it in your 1st house? Is it in your 5th house? That means something, okay? And it's hanging out there for a while, and that's the part of you that's changing in that time frame. And then you change, and you have your thing, and then it becomes a new thing. But it carries with it the stuff that you just changed, if that makes sense. And you know, we can say, oh, we're done in Capricorn, but Pluto birthed all those people. We have all those people on Earth that now are little Pluto and Capricorn people, that they're going to change our, you know, businesses, our structures, all, you know, how we run things in the world, because they're the head boss person. That's what Capricorn is. Okay, so now I have my list. Okay. Okay. Let's start with, okay, well, I thought of some ways to, okay, so Saturn is structure. Saturn is the authority. If you don't know anything about Saturn or astrology, Saturn is your boss at work. Saturn is the person that runs things, the government, the corporations, the person who is the boss man, is the GOAT, you know, the greatest of all time. They climb the mountain. They're the parent. That is the, like, one of the parent signs. It's Cancer and Capricorn. So Capricorn is your MC in a natal chart, in a natural chart, I should say, because your MC could be a different sign. But the natural chart, Capricorn rules the 10th house of career and status, and Capricorn likes nice things. They want to have money and status, and they are the authority. They don't want other people telling them what to do. You usually don't have to tell Capricorn what to do. They're going to do it. They're going to do the right thing. They're traditional. It's tradition. And so Saturn is that. Saturn rules Capricorn. Saturn also rules Aquarius. So Saturn is our structures. It's like physical things that you make, okay? Like the building, your bones in your body, your skin, because it keeps everything together. It's the boundaries. Nope, you can't do that. It's the rules, the laws, all that kind of stuff is Saturn. Saturn, they say when it comes through your chart, takes things away that you don't need. It's karma too. Karma, big karma. And not in a bad way. Sometimes it's what you deserve. If you've done the work, they always say, do your work and you get your reward when Saturn comes through. So Saturn is what's real. Okay, Neptune is like the opposite of Saturn. It is like, what's happening? I don't know what time it is. I sleep too much. I'm not trying to make it all negative. It's Hollywood. It's like when they invented photography and movies, Neptune was discovered, okay? So Neptune is the illusion. Neptune is the dream. My teacher, David, would teach us that Neptune is unconditional love, okay? It's the higher vibration of Venus. So, and going back to the dream, what do people want? He would say money. So Saturn in the dream is money. It doesn't mean that that's what, you know, a high vibration necessarily Neptune person wants, but here on Earth we do, right? So it can be, you know, the fantasy, the money. It's people who have Neptune in their chart can be a little like naive, like really close to their, when I say, we all have it, but like if it's on top of your sun or on top of your Mercury, it might make you like a fuzzy thinker if it's on top of your Mercury, or a very daydreamy person, or a person that writes, you know, beautiful poetry or music. It's the musical planet. It's the watery planet. You know, you can't You can't really contain, you can contain water, you can put it in a cup, but like water wants to go places, it wants to move. It changes too. It turns into ice, it turns into steam. It can be somewhere in between all of that, flowing. Okay, I lost my little thing. Okay, so yeah, Neptune's like, it's okay, come whenever you want to, sit where, I'm a Neptunian person. I have Neptune on my sun. And I noticed for me when I was younger and we would have people over, my mother-in-law would say, where should I sit? Because she's very formal and she's very, very fun. We're a lot alike. But that was one of the things where like, oh, wherever you want. I wouldn't want to tell people where to sit. It's like, come whenever you want. I'm late. I'm a late person. So it really kind of puts you in another world is what it is. It's like, I'm, a space cadet. I'm out in La La Land, that kind of thing, whatever, I don't want to but Neptune is that, where you can see like Saturn's like, if you're on time, you're late, that's Saturn. That's Neptune's like, I'll get there when I get there, and also my favorite t-shirt I want to get is, I'm sorry I'm late, I didn't want to come. Neptune wants to be sometimes like by themselves and take their time. They want to sleep more, they want to relax, they don't want to hurry and rush. So having these two energies come together is not, I don't want to say it's not ideal, but they're not like, yay, kumbaya. It's like, whoa, how? So we have to think about it, what does Saturn mean, and what does Neptune? Is Neptune going to make Saturn more Neptunian, or is Saturn going to make Neptune more Saturnian? And obviously it probably will depend on the person, but Neptune is further out. And so it is a bigger boss and it rules. What they'll say is, if you're not, say as a human being, if you're not enlightened, let's say, or higher consciously doing things where you're being a good person or whatever, you could slippery slope with Neptune because you're not following the rules, right? You're going to have too many drugs. That's another thing with Neptune. Too many drugs, too much drinking. You're not following the rules. You're not like, oh, I'm an artist, I'm going to write my story, I'm going to write my music. It's like, no, I'm going to drink and do all this bad stuff. I'm not going to follow the rules. I'm not going to get up on time. I'm not going to try my hardest and all that kind of stuff. So it's really good if you have Neptune to actually have some Saturn in your chart, and also it's good to not be too rigid and have a little Neptunian stuff in your chart too. But anyway, I'm believing with the, unconditional love and all the wonderful things about Neptune, making things beautiful, making things, luxurious, that kind of stuff. Bringing beauty into our reality. Reality is Saturn. Bringing the dream alive. Neptune is the dream. The dream is here. The dream is real. And it's in Aries. We're starting it. Here it comes. Okay. Let's see. So I wrote some little catchphrases or whatever you want to call it. What is real? Because, what's real? I'm scared. I wrote this. This is what I think everybody's going through. It's like, I'm scared, but now I feel okay. I think I feel okay now. Wait, now I feel amazing. That's what I wrote down. That's how I feel about it. I feel like, it's just weird. It's just weird how that is. I felt such a peace for some reason in November. It doesn't make sense for me personally with my own belief systems. And I know you guys can understand that because I just think everybody can understand that everybody's different. That's the whole entire point. Because isn't it amazing, not to talk about politics, but don't you think it's amazing, if you really think about it, that it's truly 50% of the people feel this way and 50% feel that way, that it is that close? That to me tells me, that really says something, that we are supposed to be feeling this way. Like, I have to feel this way because I got to hold up this part of the deal. And these people have to feel this way because they have to hold up that part of the deal. Because, and maybe to other people, they can't see it. They're like, no. Because I know I did too. And I'm just like, nope, wrong. This is terrible, blah, blah, blah. But I just think it's so amazing. It doesn't even make sense that it could be that perfect. 50%. Do you know what I mean? It just doesn't even make sense, but it does, because it's like we're the North Pole, South Pole, the yin and the yang. Allegedly, apparently, other planets aren't like that. There is no yin and yang. There is no black and white. You know, it's always day, or it's always night, or anyway, I could go on and about all that kind of stuff. It's pretty cool when you think about it. And it's like, we don't even appreciate that. We don't know. We can't even remember that. If we ever were existing on other planets, we can't remember it. To understand, we just have been immersed here, and we're just like, oh, you guys, stop, you know? So anyway, I just had this great feeling for some reason. It didn't make sense to me, but I think it was just really, and I wanted to kind of take this little moment here to say this, because I keep thinking about this and I want to share it. I really feel that way. Like, I kept seeing so many rainbows last year, and then the auroras, whoa, and then I think there was a third thing, but there was just a feeling that came over me, and I feel like it was a message, like it's going to be okay. It's like they, our angels, our guardians, whoever, our ancestors, are trying desperately to tell us, you're going to be okay. It's going to be okay. And this is even more cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs if you have never heard of anything like this, but if you ever watch, I don't know if his name's Graham Hancock, but all those people that are like, hey, life isn't what we thought. The history wasn't like, you know, ape, caveman, regular human kind of person, and oh, we're now at the pinnacle. We're the smartest we've ever been on Earth. No, they're like, no, people were annihilated, and then they started over. The Atlanteans really were real. All that kind of stuff. The Egyptians, the pyramids have the spirals they've discovered. They were way beyond where we are now. And now I can hear my husband. Can you hear him? He's so funny. And now I'm forgetting my whole point with this. Oh no, I know that they said that they literally did, like biblically, like that kind of stuff, really did have cataclysms, that it was like, no, we're wiping you guys out because you guys suck. You know, you guys did this terrible stuff. Like allegedly the Atlanteans had power, some sort of nuclear power like we do, but they used it in like intentionally and in wrong ways. And it was like they weren't doing things the right way. And it was like really whatever, I'm not going to say it's dark. I'm not saying it was dark, but it was like kind of from what I've learned. And obviously none of us necessarily know any of this for sure, but you hear all of this stuff where it was like, no, we got to kind of erase this, you know, etch a sketch the earth and get rid of these people. And we're going to start over now. Or some of them were left and kind of, you know, started over, and okay, we're not going to do that. We're going to be better now. And, and they said that we are not going to be wiped. We are not going to be wiped. We have come too far. We, as a human being species, we have come, and I'm kind of getting off track right now because I feel a little bit like, okay, I know this is probably where you're like, okay, she's too weird, but I don't care. I feel like everybody knows this stuff, but it's probably because I have been watching so many videos on this stuff, and who knows, I could be watching stuff and no one knows what they're talking about, and it's crazy town. But it makes so much sense to me. And I'm excited about that because there are more good people than there are bad, and our energy can pull us through, basically. So this is what I feel and hope to God is true. And if things go awry for a little bit, it's okay. Just keep having the hope, keep praying, keep, meditating. It's huge. And I'm not the greatest meditator, but just being in peace. You don't have to go home and all that kind of stuff. Just try to get rid of the things that you're normally thinking about, whether it's work or your kids or whatever. Just have peace and take time. And even if you have to just count, say prayers, say little mantras, it really helps you to have that time where you're just not thinking about your regular life that, the things you have to do. Okay, so here's another thing. Building the dream. Dream becomes reality. Your dream's becoming reality. You can do this. This is what they keep saying in those videos too. They don't want us to know this. That's why they stopped us from having all the knowledge, because they want us to think that we just have to do what they tell us we need to do. Like, there's no hope for you. Just go to work. Just work in the coal mine, Yeah, you could say, well, we need the coal. Well, yeah, we do, but maybe, how do we know that there's not other ways that we could have energy? And there are, from what I've learned, but there's just so much more potential we have that we don't even realize. And allegedly, we're going to have a renaissance on Earth. and it's already happening with how people are, believing in themselves, seeing things differently, understanding things differently, not thinking that it has to be this one way that they were taught by their, nothing against religion, but like by their pastor or their priest or their this or their that. It's like, it's okay. It's okay. God loves you. You're his child. You don't hate your child because they missed church Sunday. I think church is great. Love everybody, go to church, pray. But that whole dogma, and so anyway, of whatever it is, maybe it's government, maybe it's whatever. So, okay, spirituality and reality. There's another little saying for spirituality is Neptune, reality is Saturn. Seeing more of that kind of stuff where we're already seeing that. You can see that on TikTok, things like that. People are seeing that on their Ring cameras and ghosts and all that kind of stuff. Nothing is what it seems. Beauty infused everywhere. Okay, I'll go a little faster. Okay, so now, all right, this is this is a little bit long. Okay, here we go. Aries, first house. Now, this is what I came up with, but let these ideas sit with you or not. It's really in your heart. You will know. And you already know. Think about what's been changing in your life. Just be positive, move forward, and believe in yourself. Because this energy, like I've been saying, if nothing else, this is the energy that you need, that we all need, that will help us to get to where we want to go in our goals in life, in our dreams in life. Okay, so what I have written out was I started with Aries. That's the first. If you are an Aries rising, or Aries sun, or Aries moon, I would listen to all three. I really like the rising, but do all three because, for example, if you have a stellium, which is planets where you have 3 or more planets in that sign. So say you are an Aries rising, but you have a Leo stellium. So but you might be a Virgo sun, but you have 3 planets in Leo. Listen to the Leo too. So you want to kind of look at your chart, go to astro.com, plug in your birthday, your time, all that, and see. But Aries first house, this is where the 0 Aries point is. And besides what I've already said, astrologers will look for your 0 Aries point, and that is a key part of your chart. So whatever house that's in, that is key for your lifetime here, if that makes any sense to you. The first house is you. So all of the cardinal signs, because these 2 planets are going into Aries, that means that all of the cardinal signs the axis will be either Aries, Libra, Capricorn, or Cancer. They're going to have even bigger shifts because when you have it in your first house, it affects your 7th house, which is your relationship. When it changes you, what does it do? It changes I don't want to work here anymore. I want to have my own business. It also changes your home and your emotions. Okay, so your house, your emotions, all of that stuff is affected for all of the cardinal signs, even more so than it is for all of us. Okay. So Aries first house affects all 4 big areas: your partner, career, image, home, parents, whole new you. Whole new you. You have Saturn and Neptune coming in. Job, think about what I had mentioned, things are dissolving, that's Neptune, and things are being built back up. So if it's falling apart, it's like the door that closes, another door opens, right? Things have to leave your life so that things come in. So I just put down what I was thinking. Job goes away. Dream job comes in. Self-employed maybe. You're shoring up boundaries. What will you do for money? What won't you do for money? Eliminate addictions. This is a big one because Neptune would be the addiction one and Saturn would be like, nope, done. You're not doing that. And that can go for all of us because that's such a strong energy. Eliminating addictions, committed to personal integrity. Body transformation. Your first house is your body. Body transformation. My body is my temple. Relationships are reconfigured. How do you feel about your relationship? Or maybe you have a new relationship in your life, new home, new job, potentially music. This came to me, and I think having Neptune in your first house, it would be some sort of art or music in your first, with Neptune in the first house as a business, because that's what I keep thinking. Especially, I know not everybody's working. Some people are retired. Some people are younger and haven't started. But if you're younger, you're still building towards working. and having your career, having your, what you're going to be known for, which is your midheaven, right? Your gift that you're going to give the world, volunteering, taking care of children, whatever that is. This is a huge new beginning with the Saturn is your work and Neptune is the dream. Okay. And that's what I kind of feel for all of us. It's not just for the people when this lands in their 10th house. Does that make sense? It's like, and I'll get to it when it lands in the 3rd house, but what that could mean. So you're going to hear a lot of work stuff a lot, because I feel like we're not supposed to be doing probably the things that we have been doing. We're starting to break free of those, ideas that were fed to us either by our culture or our family or even ourselves. I've got to be this, this is my dream to be this amazing whatever, even if you didn't really want to do that when you were younger, because I always feel like the whatever we do as little children is what is truly in our heart. But you get 15, 16, you're like, oh, that's what the cool people do, or people respect me for that, and so you go away from that and you're coming back to it. That's what I think we're all doing. We're coming back to our true gifts, and using them for our own happiness and to help other people. Okay, potentially music factors in spirituality and intuition enhanced. Okay, Taurus, this is in your 12th house, okay? Uranus just about to move out of your sign, you guys, okay? And that means that it's going to move into your money house. Just a little side note for Taurus is, sorry, but you guys have had it with Uranus kind of changing up things. So Taurus rising, just to say that Uranus is moving, so we're going to expect some money changes for you guys. Maybe some surprise money, just a little side note on that. So for Taurus 12th house, maybe secrets revealed, past lives revealed or looked into, traveling abroad, connecting to your ancestors, connection to the other side. The 12th house is the spirits, the things you can't see. Where'd it go? Who is that? Guilt, anxiety, depression, release, get rid of it, okay? Take this time to get rid of all those terrible feelings. You are amazing. Don't put that on yourself. Get rid of it, do whatever you need to do, but this is going to help you get rid of those terrible feelings. Shadow work, okay. I'm not the best at shadow work. I would love someone to tell me what it is in a nutshell, but I know that shadow work is connected to the 12th house. Work in a 12th house, it's like your blind spot, okay? The things that you don't see about yourself, the things that you don't want to talk about or look at. Work in a 12th house environment. Okay, what's a 12th house environment? Those are hospitals. They're places where huge amounts of people are in one building, okay? So it could be a hospital. It sounds goofy, but a prison. People work there. Airport. Okay, huge amount of people traveling, such a Pisces moment. Schools are Pisces moments. Addiction, getting that under control. Self-undoing is transformed, because 12th house is the house of self-undoing. New beginning and possibly money being made through the healing arts, music, art, entertainment. Okay, lots of actors, actresses, entertainers, artists have 12th house placements, okay? You know how they always are like, oh, I'm really shy, but they can do it on the camera. You know what I mean? It's like and it's an art house. It's a house that really is very artistic and deep, very deep. Spirituality, ability to understand messages from the other side. You might get some really big intuitive hits. Or not even intuitive hits, but actually the other side. In your dreams, especially, because 12th house is dreams. Pay attention to your dreams, 12th housers. So Taurus says, I would start writing your dreams down, because it is one of the ways that your guardian angels, your ancestors, they can message you that way. It's not like they can call you up on the phone and tell you things. That's the one way you can get a message, is from your dreams, from the other side. Okay, Gemini. So 11th house, this is in your 11th house. This is the dissolution, I hope I'm saying that right, or the reconfiguring of friends and groups. Let me know, Geminis, because I was thinking about some Geminis I know. Gemini, Are you guys changing up your friends? Is it changing? Are you working with your friends? Could be working with your friends. Your children's spouses. You could be having some real, kids getting married, kids getting serious, adult children. Changing career. Oh, I meant that for the children's spouses. Children's spouses coming into the picture more solidly, and also a changing career for them, maybe into spirituality. Combination. Money being made through, because 11th house is the money you make from your career. So having Neptune and Saturn there, money being made through big groups, through friends, through connections, and through humanitarian fields, helping others in some way, shape, or form. Okay, politician, that's a huge political one. Politician or working in the government. This is also the house of dreams come true. So good dreams coming true, becoming reality. It's a really big one. Okay, with something, dreams coming true, I wrote with something Saturnian. Okay. Job, career related, mentor. I thought, hey, are you guys going to have a mentor or a loving older person that will support you in your career endeavors and at work? So, that house next to the 10th house is a supportive house for the 10th house. Working in adoption and foster capacity, possibly, as a social worker, working with first older sibling, the sibling that's one older than you. So if you have a lot of older siblings, it's the one that's just older than you. Possibly working with them in some way, shape, or form. Making money from traveling abroad. And this is because of the, you have a placement in the 9th house. I'm going back 2 signs. So you have Pluto in your 9th house. And that kind of plays into why I thought maybe making money from travel, because that's a power dynamic with Pluto over there. And that's the 9th house would be travel, spirituality, astrology, being a professor, possibly working at a university or a place of higher learning, working in the community also. And moving to a new community and connecting to it karmically or immediately and wanting to help and do things, not just kind of living in your house, going to work, coming home, but having a real connection to your community. Okay. Yeah, that could be like a person who's a leader in their community, has a vision, because Neptune is the vision, the dream. Okay, Cancer, for you guys, Cancer, this falls if you're Cancer rising in your 10th house. It affects, this again, all 4 big areas of your life. You, your partner, your career, your image, your home, your parents. So all of those things, think about that, how that could be changing and has started. And I'm saying it started to change because it's all tied together, all the cycles are, and it would have started March of 2023. So career, that's Saturn, dissolving and being put back together. Moving into a left and right brain career. This is for Cancer risings, I'm thinking. I want to pause real quick and say, because this is really important, I have a strong feeling about I think you as an astrologer, you're going to do how you're going to do it, what the house system, right? This is how I feel. For example, new moon in Taurus, I'm a Scorpio rising. That means that my new moon would always fall in the 7th house if I just been by whole sign, okay? But it doesn't, because it's early degrees, it's falling in my 6th house with Placidus, okay? So it's not black and white. And I feel, life is not black and white. And it's transition also. So for some of you who are Cancer risings using Placidus, the Neptune-Saturn conjunction might not perfectly fall in your 10th house. So you want to look on astro.com and see, does it fall in the 9th house? Maybe. It might. Listen to that one also. So that would have been the Gemini, that will be the Leo person, okay? So you want to see what house it falls in. And it's going to give you more, it's going to hone in more. And I'm not saying it's not going to have the stuff that I'm saying whole sign wise, because this is whole sign. But if I listen to myself or someone who's saying what I'm saying, I would be listening to the wrong one, because for me, it doesn't fall in the house of a Scorpio rise. Or let me think. Where's mine pulling in? Oh, yeah. Okay. So it should whole house fall into the 6th. Okay. But for me, it's in my 5th. Okay. So I will listen to both because it's still in the Aries moment is in my 6th. Aries rules my 6th house. But that 0 part is in the 5th. And think about this. Does 0 Aries resonate for you in that one house or the other? Is it your whole sign or where the 0? Now 0, if you're doing Placidus, probably is not in the house I'm reading for, because that would mean that your actual sign, your actual house would start the cusp at 0. It only would do that with the whole sign house. I hope this is making sense. That is a very specific part of the chart, like I mentioned, and so it should really resonate with you. And for me, 5th house resonates with me, not the 6th house. I am a 5th house person. Kids are fun. That's me, and that's where my 0 Aries is. But according to whole sign, it's in the 6th house. 6th house is the house of service. It's the house of health and fitness. That kind of thing. Virgo moment. I don't feel very Virgoan. I don't feel that way. I know I am of service to my children, but I'm a much more Leo person. And anyway, but see how you feel. And tell me what you feel about that, how you feel about that. It might not make any sense right now, but all you have to do is look for Aries, wherever that starts on the wheel in your birth chart. And what you'll do is, if you don't know where that is, look for Pisces, which is the Pisces symbol is the 2 lines that go in with the line that goes through it. It's similar to Gemini. Gemini is the 2, it's the numeral 2, the Roman numeral 2. The Pisces goes like that and has a line that goes through it. So when you see that one, next up is Aries. Wherever that is, whatever house that falls in, you'll see it clearly. And whatever house that is, does that resonate with you? Okay. Okay, so I want to say that. So pay attention, because you'll want to maybe listen to what I'm saying if you're a Cancer rising or whatever rising, but also maybe the one ahead of it or the one after it, if that makes sense. Okay, so going back to Cancer, moving into a left and right brain career. Okay, because the left and right brain, that would be Saturn is, I have to think about it, left brain, right? You guys can tell me. I don't know. And Neptune will be your right brain. That's the creative side, because the right controls your left hand, and most of us are righties, and this is the one that does all the jobs and the math, and that's the left. The right does your art and all that, right? Okay, emotions, all that kind of stuff. So what are the left and right brain careers? Okay, interior designer. That means you would have to know math, but also kind of have an intuitive sense or an artistic sense about something. So interior designer would be one. A jeweler, because I don't know if all jewelers do this, but you're melting gold, you're melting things together. You have to use the right heat, probably, otherwise it'll melt all the way, or if you don't use enough heat. So there's a math part of it, and also the diameter of the circle, right? But also, how do I want to place the rubies? How do I want to create this piece of jewelry? That's the artist, so jeweler. That's what I'm saying, left, right. Then we have, hold on, astrologers. That way it's using both. Architect, plastic surgeon. These are just a whole bunch. There's so many more. Here's some more. This is new things. Becoming a not left, right. I'm not saying they don't have that a little bit. Oh no, I guess baker does. A baker does. If you're a baker, you have the measurements, the heat, the chemistry part of it. Let's see, becoming a minister might be something, because it's a job, Saturn, but spiritual, Neptune. Building a Neptunian business, okay? Marina, that's Neptunian, because it's water. Hair salon, art, because you're owning something, business, Saturn, and then a Neptune, owning a Neptune business, artist, musician, being, self-employed, let's say. Job, protecting the waterways. Working for those who are dying, that could be a big one. A dream job, becoming a parent, becoming a grandparent. Parents have shifted stages of their life, moving to a home by the water, getting married, and starting life independent from your parents. Okay. and this also could go for Capricorn. Any of the signs, I said that before, listen to the opposite sign, because that would resonate, that really could resonate with you as well. You should always do that. That's something that I've learned. Okay, Leo, 9th house, traveling abroad with a job, benefiting from some kind of foreign company or people. Dissolution, I hope I'm saying that right, guys. You can tell me, of belief systems, and creating and finding a new belief system, because this is happening in your 9th house. This is the house of publishing, religion, spirituality, things that go along with that, working and collaborating with a partner, because you, Leos, have Pluto in your 7th house of your partnership. So that's where I'm tying in the partner thing. Working and collaborating with a partner and or employer, because it could also be people at work, with 9th house activities. So maybe you're traveling for your job, working with them in some way, in that way, shape, or form, or publishing something like I mentioned. You're working on finding balance in your relationships, you guys. It's a big thing, Leo's, having your Pluto in your 7th house now and not in your 6th. Again, your chart might have Pluto still in your 6th, okay? But think about what you started in 2023 and how that can benefit not just you, how you can help that to grow. That's something in your life now that you actually could turn into a business or a way to help other people. Truly, that's what I believe. Whatever was going on in March 2023 could be something that was meant to be, because we're all on our path that I'm saying this all weird, but I'm thinking about my daughter. But anyway, that's what I believe with the Saturn and the Neptune, is something of a structure of our life, a job. A lot of times it is to help other people. And that's what I'm tying it back to, is that Pluto, where we started with that in 2023. Okay, and don't give up on it, because it's a long process. I think that's something that a lot of us are feeling like myself. I'm back and forth with my videos. I'm doing other things. It's kind of like you can't just shut it down and start the new thing. Some people can, but even my husband, I think I said this in my other video, he has a business and he started that, and then he started working for a company again, but he's still doing his business, and he's going to transition into his business full time. And I'll keep you updated, let you know what goes on. But it's kind of, we're blending things and we're moving forward, but it's not just a light switch. That makes sense, okay? Leo risings, you're working on finding balance in your relationships. Played right, you can benefit from this. Powerful people entering your life, okay? Be at your best behavior. It has to be, some people are like, I don't want to be a kiss butt, but have you ever been rude, like just for one little second, and you ended up knowing that's like, oh my God, that's my friend's mom, or that's my neighbor, and I like honked at them. That sounds so dumb, but we're not supposed to do those things. The karma with it. We're supposed to be as good as possible. That's what my goal is to do. I'm not great at it, but I'm just trying to say, those people are going to be coming into your life, Leo risings, and they can help you. And I love that. That's the one thing. When I'm powerful people, I want them on my side. That's what I like. I like to make them happy and, work with them and learn from them and grow from them. And, maybe I am a kiss bot, but that's just me. I just like that so much. So, okay. Use your power wisely. Okay. Yeah, maybe you do. You get buddies with someone, and it's like sometimes, how it's like I felt that way, where I'm like, oh, I'm in with that guy and he's this person, and oh, cool. And maybe my head gets too big and then I'm a jerk or something. So I've done that and I wish I didn't. So, I feel so great. Look at me. So that's just really something to think about. But positive connection to the legal system. Okay. And this time back to the 9th. This is what we're talking about, the 9th house. Doing the right thing and benefiting, or maybe working for a new law, or working for a, something that is going to be on the ballot coming up. That's a big thing that could lead to something else for you in life, because one thing leads to another. It doesn't just stop, right? Okay, so positive connection to the legal system, doing the right thing and benefiting. And then in parentheses, I have this as a little side note. Jupiter will be entering your 12th house Leo risings soon. And so you will have amplified support from the other side, from angels and those who guide us. Okay, Virgo 8th house. Okay, Virgo 8th house. This is what I got for you guys, and I know I've said it a couple times anyway, but self-employment in your future. This is what I see for Virgos. Not for everyone, obviously, but you know, this is something, it may be just even a shift at your job where you have a little more autonomy, becoming a boss maybe. So power shift at work and wanting to be free because, let's see, you have this in the 8th house. I believe, I'm sorry, I wish I had like a photographic memory here. And I think Uranus is in your 10th. Yes, it is. So there is definitely some excitement, some freedom desires that you're having in your 10th house. Okay, some kind of shift at work, employment that gives you more freedom, business and money, taxes, insurance, business where you make money from others. Okay, because that's the 8th house. 8th house is money from others. So you could own, let's say if you own like a real estate group, this is just an example. You're making money yourself, but you're also making money on commissions that other people make as well. Hair salons would be another example of that, or any kind of sales. You know, if you have people under you, you're making money not just on your own. It's similar to a business. You get to, or I might have said that, but you get to, because not all salespeople, let's say, like, and I don't know exactly how real estate works, but there are businesses that you don't have to own, but you can still make money from the other people. That's an 8th house thing. Psychology is an 8th house thing. Massage therapy, spa, having that business. Becoming more selective with your sexual partners. This might be happening for you guys. Like a whole change in that department could be happening because Saturn and Neptune are going in there. It's like, no. That's energy too. You know, we have to be careful with that. The energy that we put out in the world and have from other people. Taking things to the next level with your current partner for you Virgos. Working with a counselor of some sort for yourself or in relationship to a partner. Not maybe even just like, oh, we're mad at each other. We have to work out our differences. Maybe a money coach, a career coach, intimacy coach, involvement in the occult. I have. Okay, becoming educated on healing arts and starting a business in that genre. And then I put deep research, especially with Gemini, MC, and Uranus there. So if your MC is in Gemini, look and see. And Uranus is there, some sort of deep research that you're doing. And there's an invention energy with Uranus in your 10th house. So don't, like, for everybody listening, don't knock your intuitive hits. These are big times because you could be getting the next big thing. Libra, this is in your 7th house. It affects all of the 4 big for you. Home, partner, career, image, parents, your whole life. The biggest things in your life, okay? So I go, wow, Libra, your relationships are changing, dissolving and rebuilding. Maybe you're not getting, it's not like, oh, bye. No, we're just changing it up. Maybe you were dating forever, this person, you're going to get married. Maybe, you know, you and your spouse going to sell your house and you're going to move abroad, or you're going to get in a motor home or whatever. And you know, obviously not every Libra rising is going to be doing these things. We're just throwing ideas out there, like how things are completely changing with your relationships. So dissolving and rebuilding, like, we don't want to do it this way anymore. We want to do it that way. This is the opportunity to do that right now. And your partner themselves could be going through a complete transformation. So something completely different, shoring things up, getting it together, starting their own new business. All of those kind of things that I said for Aries rising would fit for your partner and for you even, you know, the whole thing of a whole new you. When it comes to yourself or your partner, that is going to change and affect you. So if it affects your partner, it's affecting you too. That's why 7th house, 1st house can be similar. Okay, so children, this is where Pluto would be in your 5th house for Libra rising. So children are a big focus, or some kind of creative focus, maybe not children, but a creative focus in your life. And working with the 7th house is also career, the people that you work with. And it affects your career, but the people that you work with as well, the partners that you have in business, because 7th house is partnerships that are contractual. Okay, so children are a big focus, or some kind of creative focus. Indulge in your creativity. And again, listen to your intuitive hits on that. Don't ignore it. This is a time you might even be obsessed. Having Pluto in the 5th house, you might be obsessed over something creative. Don't gamble too much, okay? So that's another thing with the 5th house. Have some fun. That's Pluto wants you to have fun. Maybe you're making a job or a career out of having fun, some sort of sport. Libras might be doing some sort of sport or coaching with Pluto in the 5th house. New home, new job, new you. Changes as a parent and with your parents. More responsibility that has been earned at work, perhaps, or somewhere else. Positive things happening in the career sector. Don't ignore your ideas. They could be money makers. Surprising trips ahead. That is because Uranus is in your 9th house. So I've said surprising trips could be ahead for you. Think about that. Let me know in the comments. You guys don't forget to comment and don't forget to subscribe. It's free. Just subscribe. Just hit that button. Freedom from belief systems, and be careful with too much fun I put, but I think indulge. You know the balance. Libras, you're really good at that. Okay. Scorpio, 6th house. This is your, I wrote, has your health scared you recently? Things going awry and you're figuring it out now. You have probably experienced or will experience a new way to live. This is the 6th house of everyday life and health and mental health too. You're having a very Virgo moment. What can you eat? What can you not eat? What can you now eat again that you used to not be able to eat because you figured stuff out? New beginnings in your health and your daily life. And you are on it. You are figuring it out. You are getting a plan together. You probably already have. Move forward with it. Keep going. Don't give up. The energy is there for it. You're on it. You're taking such good care of yourself, okay? Scorpio rising's right to me about this. I have personal experience with this, and I couldn't wait to tell you guys about it. Remember my 2 videos I did where I was like, okay, basically I'm dying, but I didn't say that. I figured it out, okay? And then guess what it was? It was estrogen. Changed my life. I will do a video on that if you guys want me to, because I want to tell the world. And then all of a sudden Oprah told everybody, and I'm like Oprah. She said her heart was pounding out of her chest, and didn't think she was going to wake up the next day. I said that verbatim. I said that. Didn't know that had anything to do with estrogen. Please know that. Tell your sister, tell your spouse. If you're a man watching this and you have a female spouse, this is everything. I mean, seriously, I can't even tell you. I want to talk about it forever, but I won't. Health transformation, though. Something has went awry and it's back together. You maybe figured it out. You have celiac disease. Oh, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that now. My blood pressure is sky high. I figured it out. You can do it. It's all there. The energy is there for you to figure it out. Okay, working with others in a service-oriented way, healthcare way, taking care of parents. Okay, that's a thing. That could be a thing. If it went anywhere, here we go. If it went anywhere, you have the potential for your sex life to come back. Okay, that's because you have Uranus in your 8th house. Potential to travel and heal. You can manifest that. You can travel and help people, travel and heal, do your thing. These things will transform your emotional world, because trying to think about this for 2 seconds here. What did I have? Oh, I know why. Because wait. Jupiter, for all of you Scorpio risings, will be going into your 9th house, into Cancer. And that is where Jupiter belongs, and Jupiter loves to travel, and Jupiter loves to learn. So just a little side note, because I'm just trying to stick to Saturn Neptune conjunction, but When you think about what you do for because 6th house is what you do as your job, it's part of your career, but it's what you do every single day. Also, like you get up, you make your bed, you take care of your body, and those things can be tied in to your travel. You could be helping someone else get better, and at the same time helping yourself get better. You could be traveling and telling people about astrology, things like that. Okay. These things will transform your emotional world. Okay. Sagittarius, 5th house. This is in your 5th house. The ruler is going through the 8th house. Okay, let me think about this. Yes. So Sagittarius ruler, which is Jupiter, is going to be going through your 8th house, while Neptune and Saturn are in your 5th house. So people are paying you to make, I'm thinking, these are some ideas. People are paying you to make art for them or for your creative services. Making money through art. Making money through something you create yourself, personally, that has you in it. Children feature large in Sag's life during this time, or can feature large, okay? Children finding careers, children finding spirituality, finding solid and loving partners, which is wonderful. These are just all potentials. You're going to start connecting with unique, smart, eccentric, and funny people. This is because Uranus is in the 7th house. So enjoy the ride. Lots of shakeups in your 7th house with relationships with your partner. Your partner's having surprising things happen to them. Inventing new things. Astrology coming into your partner's life, perhaps because Uranus rules astrology. Having like aha moments to your partner. Okay. Uranus rules weird people, so eccentric people, so that's another thing you could be dealing with. So for me personally, I'm a Sag, so that would be like, oh, I'm talking astrology with people in my 7th house. Big shifts and revelations for partners. So Sag is right in the comments. If you're a Sag rising, what's going on? It hasn't happened yet because, okay, Uranus is going into Gemini July 7th. So we're approaching this time. Uranus is leaving your 6th house, okay? Going into your 7th house, Gemini. Okay. Partners having surprising things happening to them, big shifts and revelations for partners, working with others in a creative and inventive way. Okay, Capricorn, 4th house. Affects all 4 big areas again. This is the last cardinal sign. Double whammy for you, Cap, because your ruler is joining up with Neptune. Saturn is joining up with Neptune and squaring you from the 4th house. So, Caps, let me know what started with you guys in March of 2023 and where has that led. Double whammy for you, Cappy. Okay, so that new emotional foundation. 4th house is your emotional foundation, your home. Finding a new home, letting go. I don't know why this popped into my brain, but letting go, because emotions, letting go of grudges. They might have already gone. Let it go. Parents moving, changing your job, career in a spiritual category. Water, art, it's fluid. Okay. Work becoming more fluid, less restrictive. Renovating homes, realtor, caring for others, baking, gardening, protection, social work. New home, getting rid of everything. Any Caps have gotten rid of everything and getting new. This hit me, I'm not sure, but I think this is true. This is so interesting to me because Aries is known as the warrior. We gave away and sold all of our stuff. We're moving to a different house and we're going to be buying new stuff. So most of our stuff we gave away or sold. And the girl that bought a lot of my stuff has an Aries sun. I'm an Aries moon. And I just thought she loves, her house is pink. Everything is pink. I'm like, you're kidding me. Well, I'm kind of thinking Aries has a soft side, okay? And I believe with Saturn joining up with Neptune, we're going to see softer influences with furniture. Not the hard and sharp lines. So softer, more feminine influences. And I know it goes against Aries' masculine, okay? But this is what I'm vibing. I am vibing Neptune, bringing this in. And it's a brand new beginning. And it's the baby. And babies like soft things. So this is what I'm thinking. Softer environment, more feminine. Capricorn is a feminine sign. Fortunate circumstances for your spouse or meeting someone and building a life together. So let me know, Capricorns. I'm dying to know for everybody. Please comment. Okay, Aquarius, third house. Aquarius, you are completely being transformed. Completely. Aquarians, you have to write me and tell me what's been going on. One of the big things in your life, if you were born around the 20th, 21st, 22nd, 23rd, 24th of January, Pluto has been on your sun and is going to be on your sun. Okay, so you are experiencing a plutonic shift, which means things are transforming no matter what when Pluto comes through. But anyway, Neptune and Saturn and Neptune are going through your third house of the mind. Your mind is going through it. Something is gelling for you and things are coming together. Your environment, this affects your environment, your siblings, your communication, teaching, learning. This is all connected to the changes that you're going through. They're connected. Let me know. Luck is on your side too, Aquarius, okay? Yes, Gemini, let's see, Jupiter will be in Cancer. I'm trying to think where that falls in the chart. Okay, luck is on your side, Aquarius. Play and have fun and laugh. You have the energy to do that right now. Oh, Uranus is going to be trining Pluto, and it's going to be trining you, Aquarius. That's the fun, to have fun, the energy, it's very energetic. Uranus is going to be trining your sun and, heading into Gemini. So Gemini trines Aquarius. Gemini will also be trining Pluto. Okay, so that's a very positive for all of us. You have the energy to do it, to do that right now. And also don't ignore your inspirations. That goes for everybody. This is your time to develop whatever it is that's going on in your mind. You are ahead of time. Aquarians are always ahead of their time. So believe in your inspirations. Don't ignore them. Okay, make money from your brain, Aquarians. You are here to communicate and to bring others together. Pisces, this is my last sign. Don't forget to like and subscribe, you guys. It's free. Second house, what do you value? What do you own? How much do you love yourself, your self-worth, okay? This is a part of your life and it's all getting an overhaul. For some reason, I wrote some of these as like bullet points and some of these I wrote as conversational or like full sentences. So this is what I did for Pisces. You might be giving all of your stuff away and starting over. Assess what you have. Is it time to let it go? You've probably been feeling it. Get it gone. Give it away. Share it. Share the wealth. The second house is all of the things we need to live. So it's love, clothes, food, money. It also rules music and your voice. I wouldn't say, I don't know if astrologers say it 100% rules music, but the second house is Taurus related, not always exact. But anyway, I kind of feel like we need music to live for real. And your voice. What are you lending your voice to? Who are you speaking for and standing up for? Because second house is also the supportive house. It supports others. Do you have a job using your voice somehow? Supporting others with your voice, career, job, business, creating clothes. And Pisces, you're very artistic. You have that in you. And food, interior design, and marketing. And I just thought of this, Pisces is for everyone. So maybe you are going to create some clothes that are, just as an example, for everyone, not just one gender, for example. Interior design, maybe even interior design in Piscean type places. You might get some sort of job making money because second house is the money. So there's a shift. But Pisces, you have to say, tell me what's been going on with your money and how has that been shifting for you? Getting it together in the bank account, making sure that, your I's are dotted, your T's are crossed. You're not going to be wishy-washy about it if you were in the past. Now, Pisces, I think they always are told that, they're like easygoing and like wishy-washy and they can't hold on to money maybe perhaps. But they are part of the, I think it's called a triad of the, so every cardinal sign is a different element. So Capricorn rules those three, or the three under Capricorn would be Aquarius. Wait, it's the three of them. So it's Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. So they're the money ones. So it's like we have like Virgo and Taurus are also the earth, the money ones. Which we all can be, but do you know what I'm saying? But Pisces and Aquarius are under that one. Just like Sag is a fire sign, but it's under the air, the thinker, the thinking, you know? So think about that. It's really, I mean, if you held on this long, wow, this hour and 34 minutes, and I hope it uploads. And the last thing I have for Pisces is creating beauty, money making. This is a money making one and a creation one and a supportive house. So let me know how maybe some career, job, service, volunteerism, where you are blending some kind of love or creation with support for others. You know, could be a homeless shelter that you're designing or decorating, or serving food for, or providing food with your company for them somehow. I would love to know. Let me know, you guys. It's a really powerful time. And don't forget, March 30th, April 30th, Venus is going into Aries. We have the last few days where Venus is in her exalted sign of Pisces, but she also has a special spot, even though if it's her fall or judgment, I can't remember, I have to put that to memory. She's very uncomfortable in Aries. However, at the 0 degree, it's a special spot, so that takes that away. It's a really, really great time for all of us. And I just hope that I brought you hope, and I want you to remember to love yourself and take care of yourself. Take your time for that. I wrote up a whole bunch of things for Taurus new moon, and I have to look and see, but I don't think I finished it. But I think I could post something about that. But I really want to remind you guys all to take this new moon in Taurus time and think about what I shared with you and what you began, and also to take this, because this is a whole month. The moon goes month to month. When the moon starts growing in light, which it will be in Cancer in a couple days, I believe that will be Saturday. The moon is in its home sign there. It's a great time because we'll be able to see the crescent moon, and that's when we can start really doing our things. We can, begin now with the plan, the mission statement. Make a mission statement for yourself. That's what I had written up for the Taurus new moon, to make a mission statement for you, or for you and your husband, or you and your wife, or you and your partner, your family. And we had one and still have it. We are healthy, wealthy, abundant, happy, and I think I put in there slim, so lose weight. And we've been doing all of those things. It's been great. And I had a few others when I went on my walk today that I'm going to add in, grateful, kind. I didn't put kind. I want to say that. I know I'm kind, but I want to say that. And you're supposed to say this is your goals, like healthy, wealthy, abundant. If you're not healthy, it's okay. I am healthy. You have the power, and you can do that, and you can manifest that. And I know it's goofbally, but we have to believe this. We live here on earth, and we have a lot weighing on our shoulders, and give it a try, because we have the power, and that's what Jesus taught us too. So that is what I want to say. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give it a like and subscribe. It's free. And I hope you guys have a wonderful week, and I will talk to you really soon. Okay, bye.